Hello, welcome back. Nice to have you here. So far, we have learned about mutables and immutables. So in today's session, we'll learn about what mutable default parameters are and why is it a bad idea. So let's get started. So here, if you can see, we have a student class and we have this constructor. So when initializing the student, we have this name and grade as a parameter, and then we're assigning it to the attributes of this class. Okay. And then you can see here, we have assigned a grades a default value of empty list. And you can see here, I have added, it's a very bad idea, right? We'll see why is that. And also we have defined a method here, take exam, which takes a result as an argument, and we append that result to the grades. Okay. So here I've created a object of this student and I passed name here, Pratap, but I didn't pass any grade here. Okay. So if I don't pass any grade here, so it will take this default parameter like default empty list. And then here I have called this take exam method by passing 70. And in line number 14, I'm printing the grades of this object Pratap. So let's run this code. And you see we have 70 being printed, right? So now let's create another object. So let's say the name of this object will be Raju. Let's say Raju. But let's don't give any exam like this object, this student was absent. So he didn't give exam. So he'll not have any marks. So now let's go and print his grades. Okay, let's say Raju.grades. So what do you expect the result will be here? Please pause for a moment. Check this. Okay, so let me run this code. We get 70 and we get 70, but this user doesn't give any exam, right? But why did we get this 70? Strange, right? So let's try to print the address. So in order to print the address, we can use this ID function. So let's use this. Also, let's write here ID. And let's run this code again. Strange, right? It has the same memory location. Why is that? It is because when we create this class, when this class got created in the Python compiler, what compiler sees here is grade is being assigned to an empty list. When this class was set with something, when it was set like it was run somewhere or compiled somewhere, so this empty list corresponds to certain location in the memory, right? So we say that if the default value of grade would be empty list. So in that case, what it says is whenever we initialize the object, so at the time it says that the default value will be that particular address of this location. So it should be somewhere in the memory. So what it assumes is that this empty list is actually the default parameter, right? So let me run this code again. So you see, each time I execute this class, each time an object is being created, we have this new location, right? But both of them corresponds to the same location. So what can we do that? So how can we overcome this type of problem? So instead of assigning empty list here, what we can say is, we can say a default value should be a none. Okay. And now here, while assigning the attributes here, now what I can say, if there is grade, then grade, or we can say empty list. Okay. So if I run this code, so you can see we have different location right now. So let me remove this ID again in both of them. And let's run this code again. So now it works as expected. So what we should know is we should never have a mutable as a default parameter. Otherwise, our program will be very bug prone and it will be very difficult to debug. Okay. So in this session, we have learned about how the mutable default parameter can affect our code. And we also see how they were referencing to the same location in the memory. And we also learn how we can avoid such problem. So we can avoid it by saying equal to none. And if the grade is empty, in that case, we can assign the empty list. Okay. Also, let's try this with the name parameter. Let's say by default name would be equal to an empty string. So in that case, let's not pass Raju here. And then let's try to print Raju. Let's say Raju.name. And if I print this, you see we don't have the name. It's empty. Okay. I hope this makes sense. So I hope you were able to understand why we should not use mutable as a default parameter. Hope to see you in next video. Bye bye.